Hey guys, it's Alien back and I'm here today bringing you a Shaman Wisdom Cards flip through and a little bit of a review as well. I want to get right into it because I don't want you to be stuck here for ages and tell you that before we have a discussion there is something that I need to broach with this deck, and if I don't broach it then people are going to ask me why I didn't at a later date. Now I know, especially at the moment, native decks are under scrutiny as there is an array of unique Native American cultures and traditions, not just one. So when a deck claims to cover this with no further information whatsoever or background or understanding, then naturally this is seen as insulting, which I can completely understand. Now, obviously you can hear from my accent, my voice, that I am not a Native American, and therefore not only can I not speak on behalf of any of those cultures, but I can't speak on behalf of anyone other than myself. I don't want my reviews to turn into a debate about appropriation, but I do feel like it's really important to acknowledge a few things about this deck before I go into talking about why I love it and why I've done a review on it. People have asked for a review, hence me bringing them to you today. Now, with decks like the Medicine Woman Tarot, which is a really good example and another deck I love, it doesn't claim to draw from any specific native culture or tradition, but the idea of a nativeness in the future where we are all as one culture. It's very well explained in the book, it's very respectful, the author and creator gives a lot of information and background. Now with these Shaman Wisdom Cards, which are created by Lita Richesson, copyright 1998, so they're an old, this is a very old deck, but I'll come to that in a minute. I went and googled her, off I went across the net and tried to coax some information, and to no avail, unfortunately. And within this gorgeous little white book, which is very, very useful, there is no information on any of that. There's an introduction to the cards, but no information. So it kind of brings me to the question, why are you doing the review? Why do you like the cards? If you feel like it hits on these points, etc. and so forth. Now, I'm all for being respectful, but I do enjoy the cards. They were bought for me a good 10-15 years ago. I got these probably before that. I'm not going to say how old I am. These are old. I got these as a kid and I loved them, and I'm not going to part with them. But I think it's important that when we use these cards, how I enjoy the cards is I use them respectfully for myself. I don't profess to be practicing either as a shaman or within a Native American tradition of any kind, and I'm very aware of that there are different traditions, and that within those that they would encompass different aspects: animals, herbs, crystals, etc. So whilst I do adore the deck, I don't profess to be practicing or knowledgeable about those areas, and I know that this can't claim to represent them all or one in particular. So I think it's important to be knowledgeable and open-minded about having this deck and using it in an ethical way. That's kind of, I hope no one's rolling their eyes. I hope I've been as respectful as I possibly can. As I say, I use the cards, they're oracle cards, and I use them for pulls or supports with my tarot. I find the deck very, very good for healing, supportive, understanding words. I bring my own understanding of the animals and the herbs and the plants and the crystals to the mix as well. However, the book is fab for the card meanings. I find it very insightful. So without further ado, let's just crack on. This is the box. Now, as I said, I've had this, good start. I've had this for donkey's years and this has held up really well. I don't know if the card is the same stock, and you can get it on the Book Depository, Wordery and Amazon, I believe. It's medium thickness, US games, really, really sturdy, shuffles really well both ways, so if you rifle shuffle you'll be fine. Even though it's highly glossed, it's not sticky at all. But as I say, I don't know what it was like when I first got it. I don't know if it was sticky then, but it's Really lovely. And the gloss, despite me being a bit of a matte lover in terms of card, the gloss has actually made the cards, they're infallible. Like, these cards have held up forever under all sorts of people grabbing a hold of them. It's a 65 card deck, and you also get these 2 extras, which is just a little blurb of not useful information, and this, which sometimes I use as the bookmark. Whilst the little white book isn't full of information, it does have a little introduction, and I think that what you can take from this is ignoring the way that it talks so broadly about Native American tradition. If you kind of just pull out what it talks about, the balance between what comes up in the cards, you know, are you getting earth and air, or are you all in earth or all in fire, masculine and feminine, things like that, and about the healing natures that come up and the properties within each card. It breaks down the aspects really quickly, and then it jumps into 8 different spreads. Whilst you don't have pictures, they are easy enough to understand. And then straight into the meanings. I will read you some meanings as we go along. The cards are split up into different sections representing different things. However, you don't necessarily have to use them in just that area. I find them very versatile personally, and you can make your own mind up on that. So let's get rid of those and go straight into the cards, and I'll talk a bit about them as we go through them and split them up. So the first cards we've got are the 12 moons, also known as the astrological signs, so I'm sure you're all familiar with these. And what you'll come to notice is underneath the bottom of the cards here, we've got some keywords. So rose moon is the sign for Cancer, it's a shield, and it's adolescent. This is my sign. A little part of me misses seeing a lion, but I'm absolutely digging the design of these cards. I love the kind of parchment paper. And they just glide off of each other. See, these move into rosettes and elders. And there are our 12 astrological signs. Now, next we move into our 12 animal sisters. And in the book, this says that it represents your mental state. And as you can see, we're starting to get elements and genders. So for the elk, we've got masculine fire. Owl's got feminine air along with north. So we've got directions coming in as well. I love the drawings. I think they're really quite realistic but quirky at the same time. Mr. Bear looks long in the face. And then look at this sassy deer. She's full of sass. And last but not least, the gorgeous wolf. Then we move into the 12 plant clans, and this represents our intellectual nature. So quite interesting that we've got mental nature and intellectual nature, but I do feel like you can differentiate how we intellectualise things and our genuine, more raw nature, that our mental state. Blah 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 blah. Forgetting my words here. So they are the 12 plant clans. Sweet grass, feminine, north, sun, air. I do crash on these cards regularly. I love them. And it's not often that you see tobacco in a deck anymore. Beans and squash. And lastly, nettle. Then we move into the 12 tree brothers, which represent our physical nature. And as I say again, I'll read you some meanings in a moment, and you can see that they are still quite versatile. So whilst they do represent a specific clan, they can be more balanced than that in terms of how they speak. Got ash. Redwood. Oh, willow, one of my favourites. Feminine, south, moon, water. Nice and emotional. And lastly, red coral. Then we move on to the 10 sacred stone societies. So your good crystals, minerals, stones, whatever you want to call them. And they start to represent chakras. Oh, this one is a chakra. My bad. I did look at it and think, that's not a tree. So these represent, so obviously this is our first chakra, our root chakra. So if you work with chakras, it's quite interesting. The stones, minerals, crystals that they've picked to represent these. Now there are 10. So once we go past my fave, and if you've seen my Instagram, you'll have seen this card a few times. We've got, so 7th chakra, then casual chakra, hand chakra, and foot chakra. And then lastly, we move into the 7 great directions, which I'm sure you're accustomed with: east, south, west, north. Then we have earth as the feminine, sky as the masculine, and lastly self, which encompasses both or all, which, although it's not got a picture, I get a kind of yin yang picture come through all the time, but I crush on the yin yang. So that's what they're broken down into. So 12, 12, 12, 12, 10 and 7 brings us to our 65 cards. Now, would be good if you could see them all. Let's give you, some of the meanings are longer than others. For example, Wolfie here, I know, is particularly long. And you've still got the keywords, no pictures, but you know, it's numerological order, so it's really easy to find what you need in this book. Some of the sections have these breakdowns, which are quite interesting. However, for example, it doesn't have this little breakdown before you go into the first 12, the astrological. So they're there sometimes, they're not other times, for no particular rhyme or reason. So let's read Wolf to you first. I am Wolf. I lead the way. I am the knower and teacher of much wisdom. I hold a key to the heart. I am loyalty and love, though many perceive only my aggressive nature. I, the wolf, mate for life. You can count my staying power in this world. I am a fierce and loving protector. My senses are keen, my intellect calculating. I possess instincts beyond the ordinary, and I am able to search out that which I pursue. I seek and I find. I am alert to the inner wisdom of all my relations. I am your pathfinder. I lead the way. I have slipped into your affairs to become your tutor, to help you survive. If you will listen with highly developed senses of wolf, you will be 100 times more sensitive than those around you. Everything around you, the plants, trees, rocks, wind and weather, are all your teachers. Heed them. Remember to be teachable. My companionship symbolises the loyalty that is wolf. I am setting the stage for long-term relationships in your life, either in your career or your home. I love that card. It's quite a firm favourite actually for people who have seen some of the cards, and on Instagram I've put up some of the book meanings for people as opposed to my own interpretations. As I was saying, you can definitely do your own interpretations with these and draw what you know from the particular herbs, particular plants, You don't have to use the book, but the book is very interesting. I quite like the messages. I'll read you one more and then we will finish up and make this a nice quickie review. Let's have a look at Willow. I'm Willow. I stand for truth and justice. My flexibility allows me to adapt to any situation. If you are feeling a little sorry for yourself today, I am the powerful medicine you need. Be more receptive of my qualities and be more bending. I am smoking mixture and incense that captures dreams and enhances journeys. I am the smooth flow of emotions. I am love. I am protection. So there you have it, quite a different message to what we got from Wolf, and a bit shorter. Some are shorter, some are longer. You can most certainly, I feel, work on those messages, adapt on them, build on them, journal on them. There's lots of different things that you can do with these and use them intuitively. So I really don't think that you're bound by the book. However, the book is just a nice way to get to know the cards, in my own opinion. And just so that you get a bit of an idea of size, these are really standard tarot card size, so they'll look great with your standard tarot decks. As I say, they are shiny and I don't know if they are still made out of the same quality card. If they are, I can't fault them at all. I absolutely love this deck, and as I say guys, you can still get it if you like it. So that's pretty much it from me. If you've got any questions or anything that you want to ask me about the deck in particular, then do feel free to send me a message or comment below. And other than that, I hope you enjoyed it, and ciao for now.